Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video, I want to share with you a little bit more about the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra that just launched not too long ago. And before you go like, hey, didn't you already do a video about that? Well, my first video was actually primarily about Galaxy AI, which is what Samsung is heavily pushing to the users. I think a lot of other content creators also covered this aspect, but I don't want to forget about the hardware side of things. Now, the Galaxy S24 Ultra does come with some pretty impressive hardware as well. So in today's video, we're going to cover all that. In fact, I was actually out and about, yesterday. So I managed to take a lot of photos outdoors, not just during the day, but also at night. So I'll share a bit more samples with you guys as well, so you have a brief idea on what to expect if you are planning to get Samsung's latest and greatest flagship. So without further ado, let's begin the video right away. Now, first and foremost, I think I want to start off with talking about the design. Yes, I know a lot of you might find the design very familiar, and this is not actually something new. I mean, having the same design is not something new. You see it also in the Google Pixel series, the iPhone series and all that. So I'm not really, complaining about the design here because it does come with this brand new titanium grey colorway. Personally, I think this color is the color to get. I like that it's very minimalist. If you like the greyish kind of tones, like what you are seeing in this room right now, which is also what I like, I think you will really love the new colorway on the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Other than that, you already know that we do have that titanium frame that goes all around, but I want to highlight that the phone itself, some people might attribute titanium to the phone being a bit more lightweight. You will not find a lightweight phone in the S24 Ultra. It still weighs about the same as the previous gen S23 Ultra. So just thought that I should mention that as well. However, you do get a stronger frame. That means that if you do happen to drop your phone on the ground, it's supposed to hold up a bit better because it's just more stronger and durable. Other than that, you still have the S Pen at the bottom, which is again, I'm not sure if it's really like newly designed because I don't really use the pen. I know you can take a lot of notes with it, but generally I feel that even though the screen is quite big, like I don't feel comfortable, writing a lot on the screen. So that's just me, but the pen itself is still there at the bottom. Last but not least, yes, the design at the back is still flat, good news. And of course, what's new is that at the front is a flat display. Alright, so this brings us to our next point, which is all about the display at the front. Now for the display, so what I noticed is that the maximum brightness actually is way higher than last gen. So I was out and about taking a couple of photos. As soon as I started up the screen, I noticed that everything was very visible. Even if the sun is super bright above, the display itself was still very visible compared to my other phone. So that's great there in terms of maximum brightness. Other than that, you're still getting that really beautiful dynamic AMOLED 2X. It's 120Hz adaptive refresh rate. Everything that you would expect on a display on a flagship is here. And because it's no longer curved, that means that the pixel density is just a bit higher. It actually currently exceeded the 500 pixel per inch mark. If you are a nerd like me, that basically means that the screen itself is super sharp. Oh, not to forget, it also comes with that brand new Corning Gorilla Glass. What's that called? Armor, yes. So it's supposed to be even more tougher, more drop resistant, more scratch resistant, and more importantly, it is also supposed to be less reflective. So I think if you are watching like dark kind of scenes in movies, you won't really see reflections of your face, which again, I think is great for the display. Bet you didn't hear about that before. Alright, so what else can we talk about here? Yep, in terms of the performance, yes, we are getting that Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy. I think as of today, like the 8 Gen 3s in general are already very powerful, so you can expect the best performance. Don't even ask me about launching apps and all that because everything is obviously very quick. In terms of RAM, we have only one option, that is the 12GB option. So no matter what variant, the storage options, you're also going to get that 12GB RAM. Storage is 256, 512 and 1TB. So again, depending on which you want to choose, you can go for that. And now let's move on and talk a bit about the cameras at the back. Now again, as you can see from the layout, we have something very similar to last year, but some things has changed a little bit. Right, so just in terms of the sensors, I'm going to put the specifications on your screens. I don't really like to go through the megapixel count, but essentially we do have a changed optical zoom range. So there's 5 times as well as 10 times. Samsung is saying that the 10 times optical zoom is not really optical zoom, but it's optical zoom quality. So this is what I actually tested out, guys. So let me just share with you my experience. In terms of video, the OIS on board actually worked very well to ensure that the video I took was stable at all times, even when I jumped out of the van earlier. As for zoom, I'd say that the sweet spot is really between the 3 times optical and 5 times optical. They both have OIS as well, so you don't really have to be concerned about making sure your hands are stable while zooming in at the same time, which I think is great. Last but not least, the 10 times zoom actually worked quite well also. Samsung says that it is optical zoom level, and I do agree with it to a certain extent, as the quality coming out from it is also quite impressive. Anyways, again, I'll share with you a couple more photo samples of the taken during the day as well as at night. I feel that the pictures taken by the Galaxy S24 Ultra is actually very similar to what you could get on the S23 Ultra. It's not to say like a major difference, although you do notice that some pictures might actually look sharper than the last gen. I think this year a lot of things is actually all about that Galaxy AI, so it's all about editing stuff, you know, like moving stuff around here and there. Just software changes that makes the camera a bit more fun to play with. So in terms of just the pictures alone, you can expect it to be great, just like the S23 Ultra. Now, last but not least, in terms of the battery, what we have here is a 5000 mAh battery. It does support 45 watt fast charge. Obviously, you have to get your own charger, but apparently in terms of the speeds, you can get up to like 65% in just half an hour. Again, relatively quick. I've been charging up my device here using my own charger, and I always manage to get it up to speed very, very quickly. So I'm not too concerned about the charging speed there. Now, overall, what's my thoughts on this device? Yes, I know I've only used it for about a day or two, but so far everything has been quite positive. I mean, yes, I do wish that it came with a slightly new design, like especially rounded corners, because it does, you know, like poke into my palm whenever I'm holding it like that. But otherwise, I do like the color very much. I appreciate the fact that we do have that titanium frame. I also like the fact very, very much that we do have that flat display at the front. Definitely a God-given. The cameras are also as good as what you would expect on last gen, which was already great. And you also have a lot of fun stuff to play with Galaxy AI, which I did show in my first video. Go check it out if you haven't. So yeah, I think that, you know, Samsung is still giving us a very, very good flagship for 2024. You know, people might say that it's boring and all that. I think it really depends on how you look at the phone. If you are already using an S23 Ultra, maybe wait for next year. If you are using anything behind that, let's say S22, S21, S20, and you're looking to upgrade to a new flagship, I think this is definitely something that you should consider if you want to remain, you know, in the Samsung ecosystem or like in One UI and all that. It's still a very good flagship to upgrade to. Alright guys, thank you for watching today's video all the way to the end. Let me know your thoughts on the S24 Ultra. You know, just keep the comments coming. I'm definitely open to all sorts of comments. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. See you guys in the next one. Take care and stay safe. Bye bye.